You can't do this. You're not ready. You know you're not. What if you mess up? They will all know about it. Everyone will laugh. You'll be so done. Johnson, good morning. A fine day today, wouldn't you agree? Yes, Edward. Yes, it is a fine day. Say, is everything all right, Johnson? You seem a bit nervous. Uh, oh, uh, do I really? Yes, very much so, if you don't mind my saying so. Are you nervous about taking your passenger train? Well, yes. You see, I guess I've been on the, goods line for so long that, and I've never really pulled coaches for so long until 87546's incident. I'm afraid that I don't have it in me anymore. Well, I suggest that you stick to the track and allow yourself to feel calm. I'll try, Edward. No promises, though. Trying is more than enough, Johnson. I'm sure you'll do marvelously. Edward, you aren't really moving away for good, are you? That's for us to deal with in the future, Thomas. Well, I hope not, Edward, because if I'm being honest, you're one of the only engines here that I really consider my best friend. It'll be especially hard having to shunt for 98462 and 87546's trains once they get let out of the shed. Yes, it is very annoying how arrogant they can be. But you're gonna have to learn to ignore them eventually. And then, just maybe, they will ignore you too. But I'm here now, so let's enjoy it while we can, Thomas. Oh, alright, fine. That's the spirit, Thomas. Now, better get back to shunting now. There's a lot of trucks and coaches to sort out. Hello, Johnson. It's nice to see you instead of those big root engines for a change. Oh, thanks. I guess. Um, Adam, can I ask you a question? You just did, my good engine. What is it? Do you ever feel like you've got too much work? Like you're being overworked? Ever? Oh my goodness, no. Any work to keep the Wellsworth and Suttery engines and I busy is good. Passengers and goods are our coal and water. Although sometimes I do wish we had another engine to help us, though. But otherwise, I can't complain. Why do you ask? Um, uh, I don't know. I guess things have just been becoming a little bit much for me. You see, I've had to cover some of Henry's trains because he's in a tunnel, and some of 87546's trains because he's stuck in the shed, and some of 98462's trains because he's also stuck in the shed, as well as my own trains, and yeah, it's just been a bit stressful to me. I guess that's all. My goodness, that does sound like a lot of work. Maybe you could try talking to the fat director? I'm sure he could arrange something. Yeah, well, maybe, but, Johnson, it's good to be busy, but, well, that sounded like your guard's whistle. You'd best be off now, Johnson. I wish you nothing but dry rails and smooth runnings. Johnson. Oh, hey Edward. Johnson, have you got a minute? Oh, yeah. A rest would be nice. Being rushed off your wheels, are you? Yeah, you could say that. Well, in that case, you might not like what I have to say. So, so, the fat director was just here, and he told me that I'm moving sheds to Wellsworth for good. I'm sure I can come back to visit sometimes, but it will be a rare thing. Does this mean that? Yes, 87546 and 98462 are being let out of the shed tomorrow. Therefore, we don't need extra engines to cover for their work. So that's why I'm being sent to Wellsworth first thing tomorrow. You'll still be plenty busy, I'm sure. Henry's still in the tunnel. But those two big engines will be able to take a load off your buffers. Oh, and one more thing, Johnson. I cannot be bothered about leaving the bigger engines, but Thomas, he must be taken care of and looked after in my absence. Edward, you're not suggesting that I... Johnson, you are most fitting for such a role. The other engines despise Thomas with every inch of their smoke boxes. And besides, somebody does need to look after Thomas to make sure he doesn't get himself into trouble. Yes, I know Thomas can be a little much, or a little cheeky, a little odd, or... Hello, you two! Whoa! Whoa! Okay, so where was I now? Oh yeah, Thomas. So, Johnson, will you look after Thomas in my absence? Yes, Edward, I will. Thank you, Johnson. You are a very helpful engine. Big, important engines such as myself, little Thomas, are given the utmost important jobs. Huh! That's not what the Fat Director told me. He told me I'm a credit to this railway. He doesn't know where he'd be without me. Do you really believe that, little Thomas? Ha 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 ha! He only said that to make you feel better. I'm going to tell him what you said next time I see him. You tell on me? Ah ha 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 ha! You really are like a child, little Thomas. Hey, Gordon. What, Johnson? It's getting late. What's that supposed to mean? You should sleep. Ha ha! That goes for you too, Thomas. You've got a lot of shunting to do tomorrow. So it's best that you rest up for tomorrow. Aw, fine! Excuse me, 87546. I'm going to need that siding for some trucks that are coming in from the mainland, so... Find another siding. But I want this siding! What makes you think I would move for a little pest like you? I'm not a pest! Are you kidding me? It hasn't even been 5 minutes yet. And Edward says that... Edward isn't here right now. He's going to rust away at Wellsworth before being sent to the smelter's yard. Just you wait. Oh yeah? Well, I'll have you know that. Is there a problem, lads? What do you want, Johnson? Nothing. Just couldn't help but overhear your conversation. Just came to make sure that there isn't anything wrong. Yeah, well, something is wrong. I need that siding for some trucks, but 87546 won't move. Thomas, go shunt 98462's coaches. 87546 and I can deal with this. But I haven't... Thomas, it's alright. Go. I'll deal with this. What are you going to tell me? Look, 87546. I don't want any trouble. He's just trying to do his job. So, please be nice. 87546. You really do have no power. I said, give him the siding. I said give him the siding! You're under pressure. I can tell. You try to act like you've got everything under control. But you don't. You pretend like you don't mind these extra burdens. But you know, and I know, that patience is going to run out soon. What will you do then? Huh? I am sure that in the not-so-distant future, that patience of yours will be tested. And then things are going to get very, very interesting. Now move, Johnson. Oh, thank you, Johnson. Thank you. How did you manage that? I don't know. I just... Well, Johnson, but you've got to tell me. I've never been able to get him to listen to me. I said I really don't know. Well, maybe you should just get back to shunting, Thomas. But I... Thomas, please, go back to shunting. Well, all right. Interesting. What did he mean by that? What's he trying to do? What did he mean about in the near distant future? That thing about the others. He said, oh, what am I getting myself into?